beautiful people. Welcome to Student of Life podcast with your host, Akosia Pepra. This podcast focuses on a journey through our life, along with a special focus on holistic wellness. This episode, right, is going to be a kind of like a part two of my first ever episode I recorded. And the first episode I ever recorded is probably like everybody's. If you ask anyone, what's one of your favorite episodes like of the podcast, they hopefully would mention that one, like listen to yourself. They're like, that one, just something, there's something about it. And it was because I was telling people in that episode to listen to their soul, listen to their spirit, and let their spirit lead them instead of just their minds or, people or family and, the outside world. And a lot of people could resonate with that because a lot of us, most of the times, when we even want to do something, if we even have an idea, if we want to, go somewhere, first people we run to is our families and our friends and stuff like, oh, should I do this? Should I want to go here? Do you want to come with me? This and this and this. And sometimes we're not able to even do the things we really want to do because your parents said this or like your friends said, this and stuff. So it's kind of like a reminder for people to like, yo, you have a soul that sits inside of you that knows you, that is connected to a higher source, and you need to make sure that you are always like connected to that. And a lot of people, when I speak to them, they always like, it was kind of like a wake up call for me when I listened to the episode that I have power inside of me. I don't need to look for power outside. There's something that resides in me that is greater than what's outside. And today, I would say it's like it's not going to be the same. It's kind of like an upgraded version of that podcast, right? The reason why I say upgraded, because last year, I really believe that from the beginning of my podcast, the whole message of this podcast is for people to connect back with themselves and to connect with something greater that lives inside of them, right? And to always have that awareness. And that message hasn't changed. The main message of this podcast is still the same, which is listen to your spirit. But it has been like, I would say like upgraded. It has been like defined. It has been redefined and everything, right? In a greater way. Because last year, the things I went through, the visions that I had, the conversations that I had with God, the things that he said and everything, I was like, yeah, you're really, really, God, you're really, really like refining this for me. You're really, really changing it up and really letting me see the bigger picture. I was thinking smaller. And I really allowed him to see the bigger picture of what you want me to do with this, like, this project that I'm doing. So it's only right for me to come back and to give you guys the kind of the update and the updated version, the upgraded version. One of the things I really want to tackle in this episode is how a lot of people, they always tell me, oh, okay, but when I listen to myself, I feel like every time I listen to this voice inside of me, something bad always happened. So I just don't listen to like, myself. And they always be like, but what is that thing, that says something in you? Like, what is it? Like, can you even be trusted? That's questions that I have. And the answer to that question is that a lot of people, especially like within our generation right now, where we are right now in the world, look for a lot of comfort and look for validations, look for things outside, a lot of external things, right? But they don't really have a relationship with themselves. They don't really know themselves. They don't really have that confidence within. If you ask a lot of people, who are you? They'll just be like, what do you mean who I am? Like, and it's a very simple question. A lot of people don't have to answer that because they don't know. And a lot of people also don't have a relationship with God. They might say they do, or they might think that they do, but they really just churchgoers. They just go to church, that's it. You see, going to church and having a relationship with God is two different things. You can go to church, be at church for 25 years. I know somebody who's been in church here for how many years of their lives? But if I tell you that has their life changed, I cannot testify that their life has changed in any way. Their life does not reflect the glory of God in any kind of way. But I know that they've been going to church for a long time. And sometimes I always question, I'm like, that's not God. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? And that's because you can just be a churchgoer and your situation can stay the same. Everything can still remain the same. You can jump up high to all the worship songs, but you will never see the face of God shine upon you. You will never see the glory of him really shine upon you. But there's people who go to church, but they really have a relationship with God. They really have a relationship with God. And when I say relationship, they really take what they're about and what they're doing like really serious. They take their life here seriously. They don't joke about what they're here to do and all the sounds and everything. So when I say, listen to your spirit, I'm not like people say like, what is it even? I'm in this, what kind of spirit? It's the spirit that lives inside of you. And what it is, when you're listening to that, what it is like your spirit is connected to a higher power. That spirit is not just a spirit just sitting there. No, it's like, I'll say, if you read Genesis, right? So when God created man, He breathed His breath into us, and that's what gave us things. Right? That is the spirit I'm talking about. That's what makes you able to like move around and wake up in the morning and still be able to get up and walk around and do everything. It's because you are still have the spirit inside of you. When a spirit goes like that, your body's just there. It's done. That's your time on earth done. Your spirit is gone. Your flesh is just left there. Whatever they want to do with after, they just do it. So when I say connect with your spirit, when I say listen to your soul, I'm talking about listening to the God, the godliness that lives inside of you. And how God communicates with us, right? All the decisions that you want to make, all the ideas that you have, all the things you want to do, all of the, all those things there, your spirit is always speaking to you. If you have a relationship, really have a relationship with God, He's always, even those that don't really have a relationship, He kind of always comes through and always speaks to you. Even, just like you don't have a relationship, so you don't know when it's Him. You don't know it. And one thing I also want to say is like a lot of people, they always feel like, when you hear like pastors be like, God said this to me, or you hear somebody say, oh, God said this to me. I say that quite often, right? People like, God said this to me, or like, this is it. God is telling me this. And people always be like, oh, so when people say that, what does that mean? Like, God said this to you. Like, there's even a lie. Like, what do you mean God is saying this? This is the Abrahamic times. God is not a man coming to stand in front of you and say, hello there, I am God and I want you to do this tomorrow. No, that is not how it works. Okay. That is not what they mean. When a pastor says that to you, a pastor is genuinely from God, that's not what they're trying to say to you. What they mean is that they have mastered the way that God speaks to them, and they know and they familiarize themselves with the way that God communicates to them. There's some people, right, that yet is through dreams. Specifically, they don't see anything or nothing, just dreams. If they have a dream that day, right, they will literally sleep and they will have a dream of everything's gonna happen to them next day. They know. Or if like a pastor is like, who's like in front of has like a congregation, everything, maybe it's revealed something to them about one of the people in the congregation. So when they wake up, they know that that's God speaking to them. That's how God speaks to them for however long they've been working with God for. And because they've spent time getting to know God, building a relationship, reading the scriptures and things like that, familiarize themselves with the spirit, they know that, oh, this is God speaking. They have that spirit of discernment as well. They've built that, which is basically the Holy Spirit. The discernment is basically the Holy Spirit. And they've had a relationship also with the Holy Spirit, that they've built that. So they know. Let me use myself an example, right? If I want to do something, or I'm having like a battle with myself, right? And then I feel a really like a heat like behind my ankles, right? I know exactly what I was trying to say. Because I've had that so many times, right, that I'm going to understand like what that means. Do you know what I'm saying? And everybody has their own. Some people also, they will hear like a voice. Some people it's a feeling. But everyone has like a way that God speaks to them. And He usually will use things that He knows that it will get you, or like, He knows that that's the best way for Him to like speak to you. So somebody's one can be, dreams, can be feelings, can be this, can be that. Your one might be completely different. Some people's one is complete visions. Like they can be sitting, they can be watching stuff happening right on the woods, like it's like TV, and they can see everything that's happening. Maybe something like back at home, they can see like, oh, this is what's happening to my parents at home or something. The other one is like the gift of sight. They can see it. So everyone is different. But one thing I want you to understand is, even if you don't have a relationship with God yet, like even maybe you're just building it now, or like, you're like, oh, okay, you're not there, or like maybe you haven't even started yet, God still had a way that He was speaking to you. You just hadn't been able to like know. And because you haven't familiarized yourself with that, and you haven't really built a relationship with the Holy Spirit, because I want to say something, right? Jesus was going, He was like, I'm going, but I'm giving you guys something greater. Which is basically the Holy Spirit. He's not come and be with you guys and walk with you and teach you guys the ways, which is basically the Holy Spirit. A lot of people have really like, sometimes I feel like a lot of people just forget what the Holy Spirit is. They think it's just like some wind that just blows left, right, center. It's not. I don't know how to say it, but you guys, I really want you to understand that apart from like God and Jesus, there's also the Holy Spirit. And I really do feel like a lot of people most of the times don't really remember that. Or even if they remember, they don't really understand the significance of it. That's the holy fire. That is the spirit that every single day when you wake up from your bed, you're supposed to say, welcome into my life. You're supposed to like pray like, I invite you into my day today. Walk with me. That's the spirit that lives inside of you that God gave to you, right? And once you're able to like, every single morning when you wake up, you pray, like every single night you pray, like, be with me, walk with me, show me your ways, show me how to love you, how to hear you, how to know when you're speaking to me. guide me and protect me from everything that's not from God, he will do exactly that. Because a lot of people don't realize like the power of the Spirit. They don't understand like the power of like how it really connects back to yourself and how it speaks to you. They just, a lot of people are like, oh, I pray all the time, but I don't see anything. Because you're looking for like a sign that it's not how it is. A lot of people, they're like, oh, God never speaks to me. I don't hear anything. My spirit never speaks to me. It's because you're waiting for God to be like, hello there, I am God. So tomorrow I want you to do this. And next week, don't go here. But that's not the way it is. And I'm here to tell you today that it's time that you reprogram your mindset. It's time that, you start to like really refresh the things that you've been taught and to understand that God does not just come and stand in front of you and speak. He's been speaking to you probably for a long time. Even if you're not even on a journey of like, you haven't even started a relationship with him yet, he's been speaking to you. And if you are on a journey of, building a relationship with him, he's speaking to you. If you've already built it, he's speaking to you. You just have to make sure that you start paying more attention, be more aware of how he speaks to you. So when it gets to a point that something else is trying to infiltrate to your brains and your mind, you do not fall for it. Let's go to the part where a lot of people will be like, every single time I listen to my spirit, I feel like I listen to it, something is telling me to, I listen to it, nothing goes right for me, and it's always bad luck. It's because that's not the spirit speaking to you. And again, because you haven't really like mastered how to build a relationship with God and how to like listen, how to know that it's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. So when anything else speaks to you, you feel like, oh, that's God. Oh yeah, that's definitely my spirit. Oh, that I heard something and something said this, so that's it. There's a lot of spirits that roam around. There's a lot of demonic spirits, that familiar spirit, monitoring spirits that roam around 24/7. That will infiltrate your brains, your heart, your tongue, every part of you. Especially when you do not have a relationship with the Holy Spirit and you do not know. You have no self-awareness. You have no connection to like the higher power. You will be very, very lost and you will always be confused. And you will always say, I have bad luck or nothing well goes for me every time I try to listen, because you haven't built. It's like a light that since you have to switch it on. Yours has been off for too long. And because it's been off for too long, the devil's just there playing with the light, on and off, just playing with you. Some days you feel like it's on, some days you feel like it's off, because it's just playing. Remember one of my episodes where I said to you guys that the parts of your life that you leave empty is the part the devil will go and turn into his playground. Yeah. You have lots of power. Don't sit there and feel like I don't have any power. Everything just happens for a reason. Or it just happens to me, whatever. Or I just have bad luck or nothing well goes for me. You have a lot of power. But because you have left those parts of your life like just empty, you've kind of just like just let it go. The devil has come to turn into his playground. Whatever you give him, he will take it and he will call along his other demons to come and they will turn it into their playground. And they'll play there for a lot until you wake up, you turn a switch on, you say, today is the day that you're going to get out of here. So, coming to the end of the episode, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, do I have a relationship with God? The God that I keep saying I know, and, I go to church all the time, or like, I talk about it, or either, maybe, I might not even go to church, you might not even be there yet, but maybe, you're trying to get there. Do I really, am I really on this path properly, or am I just being lukewarm, comme ça? And also, if God's speaking to me right now, would I really know it's God, or would I just be confused in my brains? If your answer is no to any of them, yeah, it's time to switch on the light, because it's been off for too long. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know, I'm confused, you need to get a grip. We've in 2024, I feel like we've come out of the stage where we're babysitting people now. We're not babysitting people anymore. You're not gonna come in and be like, I don't know, no. It's time like you take control of your life. Like, especially us in our 20s, you're not 12. You're not 10. Okay? So there's some things you need to take accountability for. It's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you're confused. But we can't sit in that and just think like it's fine. And I'm going to turn that into a sub-story. I'm just going to be saying that every time anyone asks me, I don't know. No. It's time to take accountability. And take a hold of your life. Take a hold of like the journey you're walking and the path that you're on. Because God can't even speak to you and say all these things and guide you and everything. But again, if you have a relationship, you don't know how he speaks to you. He's really just wasting his time. So, again, I need you to build a relationship with God. If you haven't started, if you're not on there, I need you to start. And once you start and you really like genuine about it, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. No one's walk is perfect ever. Anybody who tells your walk was perfect, they're lying to you. But see, if you make the decision, okay, I'm going to walk in this, I'm going to try my absolute best and put my best foot forward, and you're genuine, God looks into your heart and he sees you're genuine and you're just not here to play gimmicks, and you're actually genuine about it. And as you're going, one, two step, he will fill you up with this like capability, right? That it will get to a point where you can never have enough of him. That's something I think a lot of people don't know. When you start the walks with him and you really like, buckle down, no jokes, no gimmicks, you're serious, genuinely. When he sees that, he will just be looking at you. You might not see anything from the beginning. Maybe like a couple weeks, months, down. He will give you this like space in your heart, and this space is whole inside of you that was just like, it's like he sucks you in. He literally sucks you in, where it's like you can't get a hold of him. You won't be able to get a hold of anything to do with like God. When it comes to prayers, when it comes to sermons, when it comes to anything, you will just feel like it's like your holy grain. And once that you get there and he sees that, I've really got you now, like you're really here, like you wasn't not playing, you're really serious about this, he will start giving you the sign, he will start showing you things, and you will start building that relationship with him where you will know when it's him speaking to you. You will know. And then we'll get to a point where your discernment will be so strong that when anything else tries to come into your brain, try to like, because your mind, is a battlefield for the devil. It is. And it's the same for your heart as well, and for your tongue as well. Because your tongue, oh boy, it speaks life or death. But whatever goes into your mind, into your heart is what comes out through your tongue. So your mind is a battlefield all the time. That's why your mind is always so many things happening in there. You're thinking like, what? Something happened 25 years ago. You'd be like, oh my God, it's always something happening up there. But he will show you when it's him. So if anything else tries to infiltrate your brains, any voices tries to come in, any agents of Satan tries to come into your life, anything, you will see it and you will know it from the get-go. Because you've built a relationship with him for so long that he is not going to just let you fall like that. But it starts with you doing that. So it gets to a point when it comes to that, listening to your soul, listening to your spirit, it's going to be a daily routine for you. That's what you literally breathe on. That's like your life support, because you listening to him. Listening to your spirit is you listening to him. It's him pouring into you. He pours into us. He breathes on it. And then you use that. He gives you like, the kind of like the blueprint of your life. And then you use that to literally navigate this world that we're in. So then it gets to a point where you're living more in the spirit than just the flesh. And that's where like, I feel like everybody should kind of like aspire to be living more in the spirit than the flesh. Because this world that we're in, you're either you're lacking or you're here. But to conquer here and the worldly stuff is to live more in the spirit than just the flesh. Or else you're just gonna be sucked in, boy. And that's what he wants. I always feel like the flesh is like a playground for the devil, and that's why he fights so much with your flesh. That's why so many temptations come with your flesh. But the spirit belongs to God, and that's what he wants. So when you give that to him, trust me, he's gonna pour into it. And when it comes to listening to your soul, it's not gonna be hard for you. It's not gonna be comes out for you. It's not gonna be confusion, nothing. It's going to be a daily walk. It's going to be just part of your life. Right now, like my life is part of me. Listening to my spirit and having that is part of me. It's not something I have to get up and just switch it on to do. Like, I've done it for so long that this is it. And I built a relationship with God that that's how he communicates. And that's exactly what I want for you in 2020. That's what I want for you. It's time. It's really time. No more gimmicks. No more babysitting you. No more trying to, babysit people into things that they really should have just been doing. It's your life. Take it into your hands and just like run the race with it. And that is where I leave you guys today. So thank you so much for staying all the way to the end. I really hope that this episode, kind of give you a bit of a wake-up call. Allowed you to also, like, any confusions you had, any kind of questions you had about these things. It helped you to really kind of like put into perspective. I know the episode will find the people that it's meant for. If you're listening to me right now on Apple, Spotify, anywhere, do not forget to follow the show, leave a review, and if you're watching me right now on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, and share with all your people. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys very soon.